Coco Bill gang. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know who the best. Obviously, I know who the best player is. Nikola Jokic. The MVP is getting confusing. I think obviously Shea has a narrative. He's got the wins. He's got the numbers. But like, damn, there's this guy called Nikola Jokic. It's like I don't know who to pick, but it all screams Shea Gilgeous Alexandra. Let's get straight to the video.
We are now just
Greatest
a few weeks
MVP
away
race
from
of
the
our
end of the
time.
2025 NBA regular season, and by this point, the MVP race
I'm
is
ready for the
usually all but
playoffs.
wrapped up.
I'm
But
ready.
What do you
I'm
do
locked in.
when there's two MVPs? History says you vote for the guy who is leading his team to the most wins of any team in a decade while putting up prime Michael Jordan numbers.
For real.
Very clearly the best player on the best team.
That
Which
ass.
should make this decision
It's
pretty
confusing.
obvious. Except
don't
it's
know.
not. Because history has never seen a season like the one Nikola Jokic is having. It's better than this one, and this one, and this one.
And he's
In
literally
fact,
just a
it is
third
possibly
seed,
the most
second seed.
impactful season anyone has
ever.
ever had. Two all-time great campaigns and only one trophy. It is the greatest MVP
All
race
for
in
one.
recent history, and it has left voters completely torn, questioning what it even means to be the NBA's most
For real.
valuable player.
Damn. W intro. I felt kind of sexy there. Like, damn.
Today's video
Oh my
is
gosh,
sponsored
bro.
by
This guy
DraftKings.
always got his
All
ads.
50 high-
You're becoming predictable,
The
Jimmy.
most compelling case someone can make to be the most
Shot.
valuable player in the league is to put up
That's
the best
HGA,
numbers in the
bro.
league.
I can't
This
hate on him
isn't
no
the
more.
only
Free throw
ingredient to
merchant.
the MVP recipe,
Can't say
but
no
it's
no
a big
more.
one. And right now,
He's a
Jokic
winner.
and Shea aren't just having the two best seasons in the NBA. They're having two.
But he
of the
ain't
best
better than James
seasons
Harden. Let's
of all
relax.
time.
Let's
Just
relax.
looking at some simple box score numbers, Nikola Jokic jumps off the screen like
Yeah,
the
low-key.
obvious favorite.
Okay.
A near 30-point triple-double on nearly the best efficiency in the entire league.
Damn.
And the first player to ever be top 3 in
It's,
points.
it's pretty close. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, it's only like one. It's not that
Rebounds and assists. Numbers that make Shea's season look a bit pedestrian.
Yeah, the numbers
despite
look
being
crazy.
historic.
Look at
33,
Jokic's numbers.
5, and 6 on at least 60% true
They
shooting
look crazy.
is a stat line that has only been
Man,
achieved
stop
by
showing his
3
bum. I don't
other
wanna see
players
MJ.
in the history
Big
of
Luke.
the NBA. Michael Jordan, James Harden, and Luka Doncic across 5 different seasons.
Oh,
Although
let's see this
none
one.
of them were
33, 5, and 6. See, this is what pisses me off because Luka did the same thing, bruh. Literally the same thing and didn't even get like top 5 vote or something. It's
as
crazy, man.
efficient from the floor as Shea
All
is
these
this
brothers
season.
did the
However,
same thing.
box score numbers by themselves have never been
I think
quite
MJ
enough to
did he win?
compel voters.
Nah, MJ won
Of
90.
these 5 previous seasons, only
I don't think
one
he
of
won
them
88.
ended up winning the MVP. Michael Jordan in 88.
Oh,
And to
wow.
pull it off,
Okay, never
he
mind.
had to also be the best defensive player in the league.
Stop
in the
it,
case
bro.
Of Jokic, there's only
That's
been
fatigue, bro. Stop it. He was never better than Hakeem. He was never better than Scottie Pippen. Stop it.
one
Stop it.
season in modern NBA history that compares to his. Russell Westbrook in 2017. And that season, he was the runaway MVP,
Nasty.
receiving 69 of the total 101 first place votes. The glaring difference between these two seasons, the mile-wide gap in their efficiency.
Oh, efficiency. Damn. What? Russ was an 80% free throw shooter? What happened? Damn, he clears it.
Nearly a decade and some of the most absurd statistical seasons later, and the upgraded version of Westbrook's MVP season not only doesn't warrant a runaway victory for the award, it may not even win it.
Yeah, not
but
even
these
close.
numbers hardly even scratch the surface of the impact and value
If
these
Jokic
two
wanted to
provide
score,
every game. If we take a deeper
He'll
look
be
into some
he
of
could
the more
average 40.
advanced
I
numbers,
really
we
think
can
if
see
Jokic was a
just how
scorer,
remarkable Shea
like
and
SGA,
Jokic have been this season, and why the MVP
SGA is a
race is
scorer,
as close
not a
as it
distributor.
is. To put into perspective the caliber of season these two are having, LeBron at his absolute statistical peak had a box plus minus of 13.24.
Damn.
Steph Curry at his absolute best had a BPM of 11.94.
There's Gian.
This
Oh my days.
season, Jokic
That's actually nasty. James Harden, Russ, Giannis twice, MJ, David Robinson, you know, he's like that. Steph, Jordan, damn, how many that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn. Jeez. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Nikola Jokic. That's kind of nasty. Bro is carrying that statistic category. Where is SGA? I don't see SGA.
has a box plus minus
Oh, they're gonna add him then.
13.21.
Oh
and
my. Come on, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the top 10.
Shea is at 11.58. Choosing between Jokic and SGA this season is like picking between 09 LeBron and 2016
Literally.
Steph. Good luck. For the last half-decade, Jokic has led the league in just about every advanced metric by about a mile.
Damn.
But this season, Shea has threatened Jokic's spot and even dethroned him at times as the best player in the league. A feat that in and of itself is probably the most impressive thing he's done all season. On any given night, either one of them can look like the most impactful player on the planet. And even looking at advanced numbers, the edge is only slightly in Jokic's favor. Crafted NBA has Jokic as the best player in the NBA this season, with Shea right behind him, and then a really big gap, and then everyone else. Estimated plus minus, on the other hand, has Shea as the best player in the league this season, with Jokic right behind him, and then huge gap, everyone else. A quick glance at any of these catch-all statistics will tell you that Jokic and SGA are both historically
efficiency
and almost
just
equally as dominant this season. Fortunately for those who are put to the difficult task of choosing between Jokic and SGA for MVP,
it all goes for
these numbers
SGA.
have
Everything
never been a direct indication of who will
goes
or
towards
who
SGA.
should win the award. Over the last 2 decades,
obviously,
the best or
Nikola
most
Jokic is the best
impactful
player
player
like
in
this.
the NBA
Hands
in
down,
any
let's
given
stop.
season, according to some of the best advanced metrics, ended up
MVP
winning the
and best player
MVP
is a different
award
story.
only about half of the time. Many times, these are cases where the individual numbers were backed with regular season team success, but rarely have the numbers alone, regardless of how great they were, been enough to be crowned the most valuable player in the league. In fact, if putting up the best stats automatically made a player the MVP, voting for the award wouldn't even be necessary. So, in terms of sheer individual numbers, there isn't a very compelling case
the
to
thing
be
is,
made
Nikola
in
Jokic
either
does the
direction.
40,
Jokic's
20,
numbers
10
are
type
better,
games,
but without
bro.
more
This guy.
context, their dominance from game to game is virtually the same. So, we need to add more context.
Yep.
How are these performances impacting their team? And to what extent
Let's
does
see.
their historic production lead their team to success?
Okay, let's get this notion. SGA is not the best defender. It's Lil Dot, Chat, and J-Dub. SGA is always put on the worst defender, so I don't want to hear no defensive. Like, let's relax. You know, like, let's chill out. A lot. This guy's funny. I love the
In
when they
most
interview.
cases, when two players are having
Got
incredible
Heinstein
seasons,
and
the
Chet,
tiebreaker
man.
in the
This
eyes
is
of
gonna be
fans
one of
and
the
voters
craziest
comes down to
playoffs.
how well their
They
team
might
is playing.
sweep the West,
The second
honestly.
ingredient to the MVP recipe: win.
They
and
can't
win often.
lose the
25 of
playoffs.
the
They
last
have to make
30
finals
MVPs
or-
went to players who
or it's
clinched
GG for
either
them.
the first or second seed in their conference. And right now, the Thunder aren't just winning more games than the Nuggets. They are the 4th highest winning team in modern NBA history. But recently, team success has held less weight in the MVP
Wait, the
discussion
Bulls
than it
won
has in the past.
82? Did not know that. Which Bulls? 96, 97. Damn, just dominance. Damn.
3 of the last 4
Wait.
MVPs going
Oh,
to
that's it. Wait, hold on. Maybe I'm tweaking. How many games did they win? It doesn't really show. Oh, it's just 6 games played.
MVP discussion than it has in the past. 3 of the last 4 MVPs going to players outside of the top 2 seeds. Nikola Jokic being just the second player in over 40 years to win
As
the
if
MVP,
Nikola Jokic
despite
can
his
get the
team
second
not
seed
even
win
cracking
and Luka
50
can't
wins
get
in a
the
full
4th
season
seed
back
and
in
win.
2021. As if
4th
the
seed
voters have
MVP,
made the
like, come on,
decision
bro.
that the MVP
Averaging
isn't limited
33,
to
10.
simply
What was
the
it,
best
13,
player
9, and
on the
9?
best team, but rather the player who has the largest impact on a winning team. And right now, there is one player in basketball who is impacting the game far more than anyone else. Here are the current top 8 leaders in the MVP race: Jokic, Shea, Giannis,
hey, put some respect on
Tatum,
Tatum. He's top
Mitchell,
3 and he's not
Curry,
even 3.
Mobley, and LeBron.
I honestly,
And
personally,
here
would
are
take
the
him over
net
Shea.
ratings of each of their teams.
Honestly.
Shea has put on a masterclass all season, leading the Thunder
Shea's
to be
the
not
MVP,
just the
like,
most
we gotta
dominant
stop
team
it.
this season, but the
We gotta
second
stop.
most dominant regular
Winning
season
matters.
team in NBA history in terms of net rating. And for many people, the overwhelming team success the Thunder have had this season is enough to push Shea.
But
into
I
the
won't
lead
be
for the
mad if
MVP.
Nikola Jokic
But
wins.
value
That's the
isn't
thing.
just when your team wins. It is how much your team depends on you
You
to
winning,
win.
yeah.
If we look at each team's net rating when their MVP candidate
LeBron
is on
James
the
always
floor,
top 10
it is
in
clear
MVP.
that the Thunder
Evan
are
Mobley?
easily the best team.
How did this guy make it? Damn, no Giannis. Oh, Giannis is there.
In the league when Shai is on the court, with an absurd net rating of plus 18.3. This means that when Shai is on the floor, the Thunder are nearly 20 points better than their opponents per 100 possessions, followed by the Cavs with Mobley, the Cavs with Mitchell, and the Nuggets with Jokic. But the most revealing measure is the difference a player makes for their team when they're on the court versus when they're off the court, where Nikola Jokic
they got Luka
as
now.
by far the most valuable and important player to his team in the entire league. His
obviously the Nuggets are a G League team without him.
Between the Nuggets being a net negative 8.2 points, bordering the worst team in the NBA, and a plus 10.6.
Worst team in the NBA?
For many of these MVP candidates, their team can still compete at a high level even when they're off the court. Like the Celtics without Tatum, the Cavs without Mitchell or without Mobley, the Lakers without LeBron, and the Thunder without Shai. Steph and Giannis are the only other MVP candidates who elevate their teams from below average to
Steph should be with him, bro. Honestly, the Golden State Warriors, even with Jimmy, they're so trash. Giannis, Bucks just suck.
Title contenders. But without Jokic on the floor this season, the Nuggets are nearly the worst team in the league. Now, it's worth considering who these players play around when they're on the floor. A rotation that tends to keep starters together is bound to favor those in that starting lineup compared to a rotation that pulls and plugs periodically. For example, if Jokic tends to play with starters more often than not, but SGA is constantly playing with rotational players, Jokic's numbers are going to appear better on paper because he's playing alongside a better group. And so I looked into this. How many possessions these MVP candidates have played this season, and how many of those possessions were exclusively with the starting lineup. And it turns out that Nikola Jokic does have the benefit of playing with the best players on the Nuggets more than any of these other candidates play with theirs. 17% of all of his minutes on the court coming alongside.
Yeah, but you still have to elevate the team.
Nuggets starters. For comparison, Steph only plays with the Warriors starting lineup 9% of the time. But in most cases, this number is negligible. For example, Giannis plays with the Bucks starters virtually as much as Jokic plays with his. And at most, the difference in time these players see on the court with their best unit varies by less than 10% of their total playing time. In other words, it doesn't really matter who Jokic is playing around. He rises the tides for his entire team significantly more than anyone else in the entire league.
Big deal.
In fact, according to Cleaning the Glass, when you translate these on-off splits to an estimation
you'll see PJ in there? Yeah, I see PJ.
On Denver's record, the Nuggets are a staggering 45 wins better as a team when Jokic is on the floor versus when he isn't. For
John Collins,
Shai's impact on the Thunder projects to them being about 15 wins better as a team. But this is where the discussion becomes a matter of what you value most in your most valuable player. Because while Jokic elevates the Nuggets to one of the best teams in the league, Shai elevates the Thunder to being one of the best teams of all time. Is it more valuable to drag your team from being bad to being in title contention? Or is it more valuable to elevate your team from title hopefuls to overwhelming title favorites? This is essentially what the MVP race is boiling down to. A player with ungodly numbers propelling his team to compete at a level they have no business being at. That's why I say he's the best player. Or a historically great scoring juggernaut who is the sole leader of the best team in recent history. And the answer to this question may boil down to a third and final ingredient to the MVP award. A factor that is often ultimately decided who has won in the past and will more than likely be the deciding factor this season. In ESPN's most recent MVP straw poll, 100 members of the media were asked to cast their vote on who they thought was the MVP of the 2025 NBA season. The results? Within the top 5, Donovan Mitchell received 0 first place votes.
Of course.
So did Tatum, and so did Giannis. Nikola Jokic received 30, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander received 70 of the 100
it's the media's, clear as day. They've given it to
and they think Shai is this season's most valuable player. But in more recent surveys asking players, NBA executives, and NBA analysts, out of the 25 votes that were casted, 18 were in favor of Jokic, and only 7 voted for Shai.
Because Jokic is the best player,
third ingredient in the MVP: narratives. Beyond what you do on the court, the story has to be in your favor
has no
as well.
Story.
And at the moment, every narrative is beaming directly at
Alexander to become
the most valuable player.
They're not gonna care.
He is the best player on the best team, a formula that has led to more MVPs than any other. While Jokic is fighting the uphill battle of voter fatigue, Shai is ripe to receive his first MVP. He's not just
Jokic should have had 5 straight, honestly.
He's having an all-time great individual season. He plays both sides of the ball. He is the leader of the NBA's brightest young team, and in a league that's been searching for a fresh face, Shai is front and center. SGA has what I
just want people to relax on I just want people to relax on like defense, because he's not that good, bro. Like I'm tired of that defense aspect. I think Jokic is a better defender than SGA, bro. Like, people don't understand. Like, we bully Shai. Like, when if you watch Shai 1v1 anybody or like guard anybody, he gets bullied, bro. Like, he's actually a small guard, so.
Perfect MVP resume this season. He checks every single box for
like
what
people
he would
attack
want in your most
SGA.
valuable player.
Like, teams
he
do
has
that.
the marquee performances, he has the momentum, he has the caliber, and of course, he's never won it before. But narratives can also lead us astray. They can allow our emotions to dictate how we perceive what we are actually seeing. And that's where precedence gives us points to reference in search for the most fair and accurate conclusion. It allows us to not be prisoners of the moment, but instead consider the history of the game and the unwritten rules we've abided by up to this point.
Voter fatigue
tells us that no matter how great a player is, winning 4 MVPs before making it to the finals even twice is completely unheard of, even for the greatest players to ever play. For this same reason, voter fatigue is a
He's got 4, right?
but very real
How many
thing.
Jokic got?
If the MVP award purely went to the
he's
most
got
valuable
4, right?
player in the league every season, Michael Jordan and LeBron would each be sitting on about 8 of them right now.
Facts.
Instead, the award sort of blends from one season to the next, taking in the context of everything.
Okay, Nash deserved one of those. Respect Nash.
Decades ago, MVP voters decided that the award was not reserved for the best player or even the player having the best season. Instead, it was an award that had multiple ingredients, multiple boxes that needed to be checked off.
Hakeem should have won all of them,
even
bro.
by their own criteria, what qualified a player to be the MVP was changing all the time. If it was simply the player having the best season, Michael Jordan would have won it about 8 times. If it was the best player
Hakeem was
on the
alive.
best team, Michael Jordan would have won it about 8 times. But instead, he has 5, which has essentially set a firm benchmark on how voters vote for the foreseeable
Yeah, you can't have
future.
more
Voters messed up by not
MVPs
rewarding
than LeBron and
MJ
MJ
the number of
and not win at
MVPs he
least 3 rings.
rightfully
That's kind of
earned,
crazy.
and so every player that came after him is held to the same arbitrary, convoluted standard. As one fan put it,
Jokic only has 3.
not giving Jordan all the MVPs and now punish everyone after that like it's a Supreme Court case and not just something they could change at any time. A case of we do it this way because we've always done it this
they
way.
don't want
The MVP
don't want anybody to
should be
hire
given to the
MVPs
most
than
valuable
MJ,
player in
basically.
the league. But it's not quite that simple, and it never has been. To make the argument that Jokic deserves the MVP because he is objectively having the best season in basketball right now would be the most logical conclusion. But it would also be ignoring the 78 years of history, tradition, and expectations that we have come to follow. Based on the responses to this discussion so far, it appears that now more than ever, the players and the people involved in the NBA from game to game view the award as a reflection of simply who is the best, most impactful player. And the media looks at it through the lens more of story and narrative. And in the end, it is the media who gets to vote. With less than a month left in the regular season, the race for the MVP only seems to be getting tighter with each game. And in what is shaping up to be the greatest MVP battle we have ever seen, voters will have to either stay the course and vote for a player that has built a near perfect MVP case, or make a rare exception to a player that is quite possibly
the best player in best center all time
in modern NBA.
Best center all time. I'm sorry, Shaq doesn't hold a candle. But ring that fish, bro. Subscribe. That's me. Oh, don't forget to comment down on who your MVP is. I personally have SGA. Unfortunately, Nikola Jokic. It's hard to go against SGA, but you are the best player. But I wouldn't be mad if you got it. Now subscribe, ring that fish, that's me. I'm out.